I really like it.
Not the best thing we've had today. That is amazing.
I'm so happy we got this.
Today is our first official full day exploring Medellin, Colombia, and we are exploring the city our favorite way possible, running around and trying all the must-eat traditional Colombian foods of Medellin. This city has an incredibly brutal past. It was only a couple of decades ago that it was considered one of the most dangerous cities in the entire world. Since then, it has absolutely flipped the script. It's kind of like an entrepreneurial startup digital nomad hub now, and it has completely cleaned itself up. There was an article written not too long ago that called Medellin one of the must-visit cities in the world. It's a big change, and now apparently it's taking on gastronomy and becoming one of the must-visit places for foodies.
Wow, oh wow, is this melty now?
And that's why we're here. Instead of starting with breakfast like we normally would, we're starting with a street food, a pretty famous one.
Very hot and sweaty after a half-hour walk up and down the Colombian hills, but we have made our way to Mi Arepa, which is meant to serve the best arepas in all of Medellin, and they kind of take it to the next level here. So instead of just being a regular arepa, it's almost like a sandwich, like it's stuffed with all different things. There's 14 different flavors to choose from, ranging from like 10,000 pesos up to 30,000. So we're gonna get one of those to share, and we're also gonna get our second thing on the list, which is an empanada, which we're yet to have, and we've been in Colombia for like a month. We're definitely in the popular area. Everyone basically that's in the restaurant has come out onto the patio because it's very cool under these trees. Thank you. You know what it kind of looks like? A shawarma. Do you reckon? The little itty bitty empanadas are so cute too. It's like potato. They were really good with the guacamole as well. I really like it. It's like they've just been made. I think it's like a potato inside as well, so no wonder I like it. Guacamole, I love. Fried things, delicious. Potato, amazing. You can't fault it.
That's amazing. That tastes really good. It's like fried, crispy on the outside with a really nice crunch, but then soft on the inside. It's like got packed full of flavor, and the guac. Guac always adds so much, but the guac. This is the arepa carne, packed full of meat. It just looks so good. Honestly, it looks exactly like a shawarma. I'm so excited. That is messy, but that is amazing. I can definitely see why this is one of the best arepa places in the entire city. If you come to Medellin, I'll say it, recommendation, come to Medellin and get to Mi Arepa. I don't really care what you get, but everything here is amazing so far.
It's almost like there's a hamburger sauce on there. Have you got that? It tastes really good. Something about slow cooked meat in Colombia, it's just like the best, most tender meat you've ever had. I am so surprised how good this is, considering this is like a quite popular chain restaurant. It's not some fancy place. They're making these all day, every day on like large quantities, but it's delicious.
I used to think it was a little bit of a cheat to get 2 meals in the same place, but can't recommend it enough. That was delicious and an incredible start to our food tour. The next place, we've got a 20-minute walk, apparently along a highway.
And uphill. There's something so nice about getting a mint when you pay.
After you eat? Yeah.
It feels so luxurious.
For the next dish, we've come to El Rancherito, which seems to be an incredibly popular family restaurant. We used to wait outside for like 10 minutes before we could even get in. The reason we came here is we were looking online to find a casserole, and the ones that were here looked amazing. Casserole is kind of like a holistic Latin American dish. Every country has its own spin, and in Colombia, they use beans, so it's technically a vegetarian casserole. And to wash it down, natural lemonadas. That is insane. I don't know whether these on top are like little fried onions or little fried potatoes, but they taste delicious and they add like a crunch to the beans. And you get a little arepa on top too. You're gonna like this.
Such a good first day. I am so glad we decided to split this food tour into 2 days because we've only had 3 dishes, 2 of which we were small and we shared, and I am stuffed to the brim. I'm so full. I'm even worried about eating tomorrow.
Normally we start every day with a morning coffee, but here in Colombia for some reason all the Airbnbs and the hotels we've been staying in don't have a kettle. They do have a blender, but no kettle, so we had to make coffee the hard way this morning. But this is our second day of our Colombian food tour, and to start, I think we've got a 20-minute walk to breakfast, if it's open.
We just came into this restaurant, Hatoviejo, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, and our lovely waiter saw this photo of our boy back home and was like, oh my god, a dog, and showed us all the photos of his dog. I love it so much. The people here are so kind. We have come here for like a traditional breakfast dish of like refried rice and beans, I think it is. I'm not really sure. Jordan's kind of planned this one.
So we've come to this traditional Colombian restaurant because we want a Colombian breakfast. What we're getting today is called Calentado, which literally translates to reheated. And I think it comes from pretty much eating yesterday's dinner. And because it involves beans, it's quite accurate for us. And I think we might get the con carne one. I just realized, con carne.
With meat.
Yeah, but like when you're eating chili con carne, it's chili with meat. Completado with con carne. That is delicious meat. We've been everywhere we've gone in Colombia, we've been having really, really good like shredded beef, shredded meat, which is what we got with this breakfast. So it's reheated beans and the shredded meat. I think there's potatoes in there too and an egg on top. Comes with avocado and arepa and some cheese, and it's incredible. I feel like this is one of the things that you'd get in the morning and then you wouldn't have to eat until like late afternoon.
A very simple dish. Like there's nothing that exciting going on, yet it's delicious. The meat is super tender, beans are delicious. I like that it comes with an egg, that makes it breakfasty. One meal for the day done. Now we are going to go walk by some pretty things just to let that work off before we head to Provenza.
So we've come to a restaurant called Mondongos to get what is probably the most typical Colombian meal in this Antiochian region of Colombia. It's called Bandeja Paisa. It has so many ingredients, but it's always a little bit different depending on the restaurant you go to. So regularly, of course, there's beans. Let me just read it for you. Beans, rice, beef, chicharron, or like that, pork crackling, plantain, sausage, egg, avocado, and an arepa. As you can see, they just didn't stop adding things to the table. And because it is so abundant in quantity and the different things that are on the plate, we obviously only got one to share, but it covered almost the whole table.
Real shredded beef. It's like meat, but it has been shredded to an inch of its life. It's like a sand consistency in your mouth. It's so bizarre.
I don't know how I feel about that one. It's like, yeah, consistency of sand, but it also has the dryness of sand.
The thing I'm most excited for is the chicharron, which is like fried pork crackling. Yum. Delicious. The pork is still like nice and juicy somehow, but the crackling is delicious. I genuinely don't know how we would have had one each.
I wonder why this region is so into the beans. I understand the dish, like I get it, but this is not the best thing we've had today.
I'd say I get the vibe and idea of the plate, but I think Menú del Dia does it better. And that's like similar energy to me, like a massive plate of food. I do really like the chicharron though. They do pork crackling amazingly here.
The next thing we're going to try and get was actually recommended by someone who used our travel recommendations form and told us to get this specific donut-y looking thing. So we're going to try and find that down the street.
For one of our last dishes, because we are unbelievably full, we have gotten a Buñuelo, which was actually recommended to us by Daniela, and I believe it's like a Colombian donut. We did get it with queso. I'm not sure if that was in the recommendation. Big round fried balls. Kind of tastes like a donut, so the cheese seems weird.
I don't know if we messed up your recommendation because we got it with cheese and we didn't get it fresh. Consistency on the inside, a little bit donut-y. Other than that, Not the same. We'll have to try again.
I think having in mind that it's going to be a donut is doing us damage because I keep expecting it to be like this sugary, cinnamony, fresh donut. And the batter seems like it's the same, but it's savory, not sweet. Last thing we're getting, we have actually had before.
This seems like a really cool walking street. God, I'm so full. Should have just come here to eat.
We have come to the chocolate house for chocolate con queso. I actually don't know what it's called. It seems like it has a few names, but it's hot chocolate and cheese. I'm so happy we got this again. We had this in Bogota, but it definitely didn't melt as much. I think we were maybe the problem, like we took too long to put the cheese in there, so it wasn't hot enough to melt it anymore. But wow, oh wow, is this melty now. It's a good hot chocolate. Yes, now I try some cheese. It's so weird. It's the whole salty and sweet thing though, like it is really good. It's just bizarre to have a hot chocolate with stuff in it that's not marshmallow. We have checked off 6 of our Colombian foods off of our list, and honestly I thought we were going to complete this list today. I didn't think it was that crazy of a list because a lot of it was like snack size sort of foods, and we're sharing everything between 2 people. So like 1 plate of food, 1 hot chocolate for 2 people shouldn't be that much. But I am bursting from the seams. I am so incredibly full. Colombian food is so hearty and so filling and so delicious that we have finished everything we've eaten. So we're not going to finish our list today, but maybe when we're in Salento we can cross some more things off.